Bethesda released a buggy game isn't a surprising statement for me to make. The amount of times that I've seen something glitch through the floor, had weird textures load in, or the physics engine fucking up is more than any other game that I've ever played. But I think we can all agree with Bethesda games that the worst bugs are the ones that make quests and storylines unplayable. And these bugs were the ones that I was the most harsh on Bethesda for because I wanted to complete these stories and see these characters grow. And whether it was Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout 3, New Vegas or 4, it always annoyed me when I couldn't do these quests. However, part of me was always forgiving of this for two reasons. For a start, the game usually got a patch very quickly that fixed these bugs. Not every bug got fixed straight away, but the major ones were usually dealt with very quickly, especially in Fallout 4, and this included a lot of bug fixes for quest lines. The second reason is that these bugged storylines weren't that important in the grand scheme of the game. And don't get me wrong, I still got annoyed by this. I wanted to know how these quest lines ended, but that's what it was, an annoyance. Of course I was annoyed when the White File or the Crown of Berenzia quest glitched out, but those aren't an integral part of Skyrim's story. I played through the main Dragonborn quest line and the faction stories without problems, and these were the stories in the game that had the most effort and payoff to them. So while I was annoyed at the loss of some of the smaller quests, at least I still got to enjoy the best narrative parts of the game. Now, I came into Starfield with a similar expectation, that there might be a few bugs here and there, and there might be a few smaller quests that stop being completable, but at least I'll be able to complete the main story, the companion quests, and the faction storylines. Because after dreaming of making this game for 20 years and having it developed over the past 8 years, there's no way that Starfield, Bethesda's pride and joy, would have bugs so bad that it makes all their other games look like God's gift in comparison, right? Well, that's what I thought. Until about 4.5 days worth of gameplay led me into doing Sam Coe's personal mission, Matters of the Heart. You see, eventually you'll get a mission involving Sam and his daughter Cora, where Cora believes that her mother Lillian is in trouble and you and Sam set out to help her find her. You go to a bloodstained apartment to find evidence of where she is, and eventually you'll discover that she's currently in deep cover with a crime syndicate and needs rescuing. After fighting through the base and rescuing her, Lillian joins you, Sam and Cora in trying to take down the syndicate, attacking a ship called the Dumas. And here is when my game started to fuck up. You see, when you first jump into the space that the Dumas is occupying, it starts to broadcast a transmission to you, and obviously if you accept the transmission, it's supposed to give you dialogue. Yet every time I tried to do it, it just immediately cut to combat. You need to obtain some information hidden in the ship's cargo, so you have the options of destroying the ship and looting its remains, or boarding the ship and looting it from there. And both of these options are bugged. If you board the ship and kill everyone, despite the fact that you are supposed to kill them and they are trying to kill you, Sam will get angry with you and hate you. If you blow the ship up and then loot the cargo afterwards, everyone on the ship will get angry with you. Another problem I ran in around this time is that sometimes I would just randomly get attacked by United Colony or 3-star ships, despite the fact that I don't have bounties from them. When I jumped into space battles where they would be fighting the Ecliptic or the Crimson Fleet, every single one of them would just start randomly attacking me, with no explanation or dialogue given to justify it. And I've got no idea what caused this to happen. So I get the message from the Dumas and then it's time to head to a hidden cache and start the next part of the mission. So I get ready, I trigger the cache, I head towards where the ships are going to land, I wait for the ships to land, they start to unload their bays and nothing. No enemies come out of the ships. I cannot access the ships, and my companions don't do anything. And this is when I learned that my playthrough is beyond fucked. You see, it's not just this storyline that is bugged in this regard. If you go to a landing zone and approach the ships there, any ships that would be filled with enemies are just empty, with no enemies leaving and no crew for you to kill when boarding. There would also be no crew when boarding the ships in a space battle, which means that as soon as you unboard the ship will start firing on you, as technically you haven't killed the crew before leaving. But these problems are just immersion breaking annoyances compared to the awful bugs that I was about to learn about. You see, in this quest, Sam stays locked as your companion. You cannot make him leave or dismiss him until the quest is done. But the thing is, I cannot complete this quest as no enemies are spawning for me to fight, which means that Sam is now going to be my companion forever. It also means that one of the most important quests in the game, a companion quest, cannot be completed. Now, that would be rage-inducing enough if it wasn't for the fact that this apparently locks you out of the main quest line and some of the other faction missions, as some of the missions require you to dismiss your companion, or take a new companion, which you can't do because Sam is permanently attached to you until his quest is done. That's right, because one of the most important quests in the game is bugged, you can no longer complete the most important story in the game, and you certainly cannot experience any of the other companion quests either. So, what great fix has Bethesda cooked up for us? Well, so far the only fix that I've been able to discover is that you have to go back to a save that is set before you accept Sam's personal mission, which means that you are, at the very least, going to lose 1 or 2 hours of gameplay if you manage to save before starting the questline. And if you don't have that option, then that's a shame, because not only is there no other fix for it on consoles, but Bethesda hasn't released a patch for the game or even really addressed the issue, having only a small web page full of generic tips and tricks to help you out. Meaning that you're pretty much fucked if you want to continue your current playthrough. And that's where I'm at right now. The earliest save that I have that I manually made is about 4 days worth of gameplay ago. Meaning that because Bethesda hasn't released a patch for a bug that breaks their entire game, I would need to lose 96 hours of gameplay just for the hope that the next time I do the mission, it doesn't fuck up badly. And believe me, after reading everything I've seen online, that's very unlikely, as this isn't the only game-breaking bug that this one quest has. Another bug is that when you investigate the apartment, Sam and Cora won't move even after you pick up the evidence and try and give it to them. They'll just be frozen like statues. Another bug is that after rescuing Lillian, you have the option of either escorting her to your ship or telling her that you'll meet her there. If you pick the second option and try and meet her there, she will just be gone from the game, despite the objective marker telling you that she's on the ship. Once again completely fucking up your current playthrough. If you ever needed an indication that Bethesda and Todd Howard really don't care enough or have any attention put into their games anymore, this questline proves it, with the amount of bugs that can completely break the game being completely ridiculous, to the point where the only excuse I can think of is that no one bothered to playtest this storyline. And it just frustrates me because I was genuinely enjoying myself with the game. I wanted to do all the quests and document all the planets, but the game physically won't let me continue it. And despite people complaining about it for the past 3 months, Bethesda seemingly doesn't have any intentions of fixing it anytime soon, showing a complete disregard for the fans that were looking forward to seeing what they could do with a new IP. So yeah, I think I can say that I'm pretty much done with Bethesda at this point. There's no more excuses I can make for them. If this game, which was supposed to be their crown jewel, the culmination of 2 decades worth of game development, is in such a shitty state that I don't even have the willpower to bother finishing it, I can't even begin to imagine how terrible The Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be on release. Thanks for watching, lads and lasses. I really didn't expect to make any sort of video on Starfield, to be honest, but after this bug I just got so angry I couldn't help myself. I'm very disappointed in Bethesda, and if any of you have played the game and experienced a similar glitch, then you perfectly understand why. These aren't just small stories that you can afford to miss out on, or bugs that just restrict you from a building. These are problems that fundamentally break the game and they've just done nothing about it. If you like this video, please consider liking, subscribing and watching some of my other videos. And if you really enjoyed it, please consider my Patreon or YouTube membership. But overall, I just hope you had a great day and hopefully I will see you in the next video.